Oh, trust me, when I first discovered this anime in December, it was through its trailer. PS, it aired in January 2023. I don't know why the first episode was already available on this legal streaming website, nineanime.to. I just thought, oh hey, this might be a cute show to watch, and saw that Studio Bind was making it, which is great. It's the same one that made Mushoku Tensei, my favorite anime. It's gotta be good, right? I like the trailer, I like the music, I'll give it a try. Then I hop on a Discord call with my friend to watch the first episode.
Yo, bro, do you wanna watch this wholesome and cute anime that I just found?
Oh, cool, bro. What's it called?
It's called Onimai or something. I don't know. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
Sure, sounds.
Dude just cut off.
Bro, hey, bro, I got bigger boobs on. I got bigger boobs. Hey.
Bro.
Hey, yo.
What is going on? What is with this anime?
Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get arrested for this shit.
Yeah, actually.
No.
Wait.
Wait.
No. Wait. Let's skip this. Oh. The PC just crashed.
Sure enough, we never got past the first episode. Until now. Now, how could this be? Well, it's more simple than you thought it'd be. No, not because of the weird things you might come up with, but because of a genuinely fun and unbelievable thing. Controversy. I knew from the moment I laid my eyes on the trailer preceding its release that this piece of media will not only be causing storms and rage Twitter people, but be a sight for all waiting to witness the controversy go down. So that asked the question, if it was so bad, then why didn't the manga gain traction because of its seemingly absurd and ludicrous nature? I was curious too, but never really acted upon it. Nevertheless, because of the sudden boom of popularity and drama, I began to dig deep into its very roots. To combat my laziness, I continued watching the anime, alone and seriously this time. It definitely took a toll on my mental health. No, seriously. And I just had to endure those torture, maybe you could call them torture scenes. They were torture scenes for as long, I had to endure them for as long as I can. And just when I thought that it was going to only get worse, it actually got way better. You see, the reason the show was dismissed from the very start by many was its obscene and weird problematic scenes that you can't just tell for yourself. But after getting through all of that, you're simply left with a story, a generic one you could say, but a genuine one. It's comedic in nature, and how it at first didn't even take itself seriously made me disapprove of all the plot points already introduced. I simply brushed it off as lazy writing ploys for introduction, and thought that they never elaborate or even try to hint at improving the show. We've seen this in Rent a Girlfriend. We've seen in a lot of media actually, so I didn't have my guards up at all. It didn't blow me away, not once, but it did somewhat surprise me with how emotional it can actually get, and how natural it seemed to transition between that and the awfully comedic and fan service moments. It discusses points of the MC being the typical shut-in non-achiever who's always being overshadowed by his little sister. You can argue you see that all the time, and I agree, but the plot progression in this show is actually quite wholesome. A weeb who put closure to all his efforts, seeing that he never matched the level of achievement or expectations set by his younger sister. Society deems it necessary for the firstborn to always be the one in lead. Whether it be academics, sports, and anything of the like, it's always been that way, and in spite of the reasoning behind it, or even devoid of any reasoning behind it, it'll always stay that way. Bound by the societal expectations forcefully entrusted upon him, he is pressured immensely. Notice that these are somewhat of a twofold though. The pressure of being older and of being a man. They would be inversely proportional if the situation was any different had he been a girl or younger. In becoming the younger sister, our MC is thus free from both of these pressures. In a weird analogy, I could address this as another pathwalk of isekai, having its tropes be composed of this subgenre. Just look at it. A otaku, failure of a man, and older brother is whisked away into this entirely new world of femininity in which he is able to let go of his past, live a new life, and succeed. Which is really telling since the entire studio based around this anime's core themes were created solely to assist in the production of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, made by Rifujin no Magonote, the anime that is somewhat reflecting of the values presented. In Mushoku, however, this has been more of a reoccurring issue that's handled with more care, thought, and seriousness, while Onimai just do it on the go as a way to reward us with easy-to-do growth. Yet it's still entertaining in its own right. If you haven't, then I suggest you to try giving the first episode a watch. I can say ignoring the sus moments would lessen the pain, but you may if it doesn't hinder the experience. If you can ignore such fan service, then you can thus focus on the show's cute and wholesomeness for all it is worth. If not, then I suggest you go and read the manga. The anime itself had put maybe too many unnecessarily weird shots, camera angles, and fan service that wasn't even apparent in the manga. If the unnecessary hindrance is ruining the experience, which it might, then you can try the manga. If you do mind giving the series any chance. I can't say for sure that this anime is good or bad, mostly because it actually has moments that is relevant and good for the plot, and is actually decent and enjoyable, but it's hidden beneath the overabundance of fan service and additional content that nobody really asked for. Is it good? Don't know, that's for you to decide. In terms of Onimai's themes and tropes, we like anime girls. Yeah, we do. We really do. This happens with Boji. It happens all the time. Anime girls, we like them not because they resemble reality. They are maybe exaggerated, and that's fine. But they don't resemble reality. We like them because they don't resemble reality. As well as our MC escaping the pressure of societal expectations, we like Onimai because of that. But personally, I find this topic somewhat tragic. A generation of men saw this illusion with society that the way they can imagine freedom is through the idealized anime girl, and I just hope that society could progress in ways that could accommodate those people, which could probably be you, the person that is watching. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to feel about Onimai. But really now, it's not what you think it was. Thank you for watching.